So we're finally back to our regularly scheduled race season.
Yes, we're back racing at Riverhead after a couple of weeks off due to Mother Nature and scheduled races off. After our trip to Evergreen in the sedan, got back to Riverhead this past week. Unloaded. Practice went okay. Car was a little unstable, but everybody in the field was a little off. Put on another set of practice one, working things in, trying to get back to the racing groove at Riverhead. Didn't do much to the car. Kind of was like, I don't know what I'm doing, just I don't know, something was off. Track, knee, car. Put a different set of tires on for practice two. Felt a little bit more comfortable, but speed still wasn't there. Again, something just was off a little bit. So get to our heat race. I said, you know what? Let me leave these tires on. Let me test them. Drew pole position for heat one.
How are you so sure that was your position?
Well, on the pill drawer, when you get the single digit of 1, leaves no imagination of where you're going to start. Which there was a lot of confusion going on at the racetrack this past weekend due to technical issues, due to late drivers coming in. Didn't affect me, but it did affect me later on. So the heat race started on the pole, looked at my heat. I said, all right, keep it clean. I should be able to get into the feature no problem. Had a good run, good start. Meeting the guy on the outside, go through 1 and 2 side by side. Pretty much down the back straightaway, side by side. Gets me a little bit. He's a young, faster kid. Not going to name names because of the situation. I'm not calling it anybody. Get through 1. I'm sorry. Get through 3. Got a little antsy. Car pushed up the racetrack, and I got into him. Upon further review of the video, I went up. He went down. We both spun. He wasn't happy.
Not so much spun, but you both got tangled up.
Well,
and
we got tangled, and we took ourselves pretty much
into the infield.
Into the infield. So the field passes us. Both kept going. I got out in front of him back on the racetrack, and he gave me a shove down into 1, set me up, sent me up into the track. Nothing down. I kept on going. But the car wasn't right after that. So I finished 7th. They took the top 6. So I was in the consi. Looked over the car, changed the rear tires back to the other set just to make sure because I felt like I had a flat tire. But he did qualify, so he was all right. In the consi, he started dead last. Since I started on the pole, finished 7th, I dropped the most spots. Here comes the confusion. There's a little fast recap. Originally, Riverhead posted that we had 3 heats of 10 cars. Then apparently a few more cars registered, checked in, whatever. Then we got up to 32 cars. So they revamped the lineups. Instead of having 3 heats of 10, we went with 4 heats of 8. That's why in the 3 heats of 10, we'll take the top 8. When we have 4 heats, we take the top 6. That's why I finished 7th. I didn't make the feature there. But unfortunately, with that confusion, one of the drivers went out in the first heat when he originally saw 3 heats. But he didn't check his phone or the lineup at the handicap booth, realized that he was not in the first heat anymore. He was in the 4th heat. So he came out onto the racetrack. And with that, his transponder registered in the heat race, first heat race. And he was told to get off the track because he wasn't in it, which he did. But he went across the start-finish line and had 0 laps. So the handicapping registered him in the first heat, finishing 9th. When he out in his heat in the 4th heat, he started 4th, finished 5th. So he qualified for the feature. But with all the confusion, they took his first heat result, which he wasn't in, put him in the consi.
And on top of that, in the 2nd heat, I believe, one of the transponders, for some unknown reason, dropped a lap.
Correct.
So was showing a car a lap down when there was no way they could have been a lap down because they were racing in 6th for most of the race.
Correct. So the provisional, this gentleman, kid, I don't know how old he is. Everybody's a kid to me. He thought he was in the feature because he finished 5th in his heat. They were calling him to run the consi, and he's like, "What? Why am I in the consi?" So he got to his car. We waited for him. He did get out to the consi, did his 1 lap for provisional, and then he parked it in the infield. There was another driver who was ahead of me in points, who won the race. I made my way up to 2nd, and that's where the confusion started again. Since the one guy was not supposed to be in the consi, was called a provisional, the guy who won the race was actually the provisional, and then there was me. So the announcers were a little confused. The handicapping was a little confused. But at the end of the day, they figured it out, and I made the feature. Because since the
Provisional won the
race,
so they took the next highest finish. Yeah,
was me.
So you had a good consi of you started 7th or 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever. You seventh because unfortunately, we had a car get wrecked in the heat race and
wasn't able to come back out.
So you started shotgun on the field in your consi, and you did make your way up through to 2nd.
Right.
In your first consi race of the year, that's a pretty good showing.
Yes, but I still wasn't happy.
No,
car wasn't right.
I wasn't happy either, but nobody could hear me.
So we started dead last in the feature, stayed on the lead lap again thanks to the timely caution, came home 23rd, really wasn't able to do much besides hang on. Lap times were consistent all day long. I just couldn't, something was amiss on the car. And as I'm looking at it right now, I'm looking at something that I don't like, that I need to look into. I don't know whether it's on the stands or... Yes, I think it's because this is up here.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yes, but I think it's
the
stand over here isn't gone right.
That's not in the little... in the dip.
Right.
This one is not in the dip, and that's why it's looking a little weird.
Yes.
You did not knock out your suspension.
Well, I'm going to go over it anyway.
Oh, yes.
I didn't like how the car felt.
But at the same time, the entire field was off a couple of tenths.
Yeah, but I just, for whatever reason, I just wasn't comfortable. I couldn't do what I normally do prior or after and stuff like that. So.
I also think I'm going to, throw it out there that it does have something to do with the fact that you did hop into the sedan the week prior, so...
Yeah.
And it takes you a little bit to get reacclimated to things. You're not quite as adaptable as you once were.
So we're going to go over the car, we'll check the shocks, check the springs, go over the alignment.
But yeah, the streak is still alive.
Yeah, barely.
It's okay.
But, no, and then, so that was it. It was just something off all weekend. And that's...
Yeah.
Other things in life that kind of put your mindset somewhere else where it should be. But we'll discuss that at a later date. Nothing with me or my family or anything like that.
No.
A very good friend of mine's husband had a very scary situation. But he is on the road to recovery.
But that's it for now, because I'm gonna have a very, very long day tomorrow.
Yes. But yes, we'll be back out on the Riverhead this Saturday. Hopefully I can get some improvement, get my head back on straight. I get tires to clean, I get things to do.
And a dog that demands all of your attention.
Yes. So that's all right. But a little quick thing is that we are looking at the Masters points of
oh yeah.
Of
the INEX, the national points.
The national points, and I'm a lot higher than I ever thought I would be in the standings, and it's one of those things is like, not that I'm running for a championship there or running for a championship at Riverhead and stuff like that. It's food for thought for next season, what we want to do. How many races we're going to run. Doesn't matter which car, because they're my points.
It's driver points, not car points.
Not a car number point, so I can hop into both cars.
Yeah, because we found this out, because in Evergreen he was in the 95, but...
And I get credited with the points there and stuff like that. So, after this season, we have to sit down and get better vehicles and trailer so we can do some more racing, I think. But we have to look at the finances and
Yes, that is
circumstances.
the ideal situation is to
Um,
upgrade our tow setup.
I just want to say thank you to Evergreen for throwing more races our way. Unfortunately, we will not be able to attend this weekend or next weekend. Um, but coming September, I do believe they have 2 more dates that we are not racing on Saturday. I'll have to check the dates on that. So we will probably venture out to Evergreen at least one more time this year. I'm going to debate whether I'm going to take the coupe or the sedan.
And then
We'll
also, we plan on taking a car out to Wall.
Yes, the plan is to take one car out to Wall for the Turkey Derby. If we can secure a way to get the car down there. So that is what's on the agenda for the rest of the year. I plan on racing all of Riverhead's schedule.
The 10th, I believe we're going to have both cars out there.
Yes, 10th. The plan is to have both cars out at Riverhead. Jake is having his farewell racing date for the year because he's going to be off to college the following weekend. We wish him the best, and we'll be sure to follow his progression through life.
On that note,
I got work to do, and then I have to stop being angry for the moment. I'll take it out on my tires. Peace.